Akshan just kind of doesn't keep up with that, right? Like the long-term value really isn't a factor right now.
Yeah, maybe that is something. Maybe it is just people going like, hey, I want to play this deck. This deck kind of has these hard win cons, and Akshan not really, maybe not really fitting in the lineups as well, right? It's always hard to, or you always have to consider what decks fit together in a lineup. And maybe just, maybe we just got unlucky and we just missed all the Akshan games in the tournament. But yeah, none of the lineups that the players had, they felt like, hey, an Akshan deck, an Akshan Kai'Sa, Akshan Kayn could be great here. And they just went with some, other amazing decks that we got to see though.
We did miss out on Akshan for today's broadcast, but we aren't going to miss out on this final match. We've got KeroTempest opening up with Timelines versus Eluward on that Shadow Isles Shurima list. Timelines in the opening hand for Kero, and we'll have to see if the scaling stats of Timelines can keep up with the scaling stats of the Undying.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit of a kind of race almost. This is the Freyard version, which means we don't really have a hard timer like the Vi Jax version kind of does. But yeah, I mean, sometimes the timelines, sometimes the Undyings and the Nasus and the Zolanis as well just present so many stats that we maybe don't find the traits we want. But sometimes we also find the opportune timeline where we can win the game. And I was just looking at some deck lists. Have we played timelines yet on Kero's side?
Yes. The Timelines was good. Cashed in turn 1. So now we're going to be getting like a big Tavern Keeper here, offsetting some of this early damage and changing potentially into a pretty strong 3-drop. The Ember Maiden. Can you take that risk versus Hate Spike, though? Super tempting.
And yep, we are going to take the risk. We have both hands set up once again. We have the Hate Spike at the ready as well. We're going to hold off on it. Maybe see if KeroTempest wants to play any sort of Mystic shots or something to stop this before we go in. And maybe we're just letting it go through.
I like this a lot. Saying, you know what? I actually don't care about the Ember Maiden. I'm just going to cash in my units right now.
Yeah, just making great use of those units with a Glimpse to refill the hand and a Rite of Calling to refill the hand with a Champion. We got the Viego here.
Yeah, I thought it was the Floodlighters deck, but this is the Viego list. This isn't the it's Kero that's on the Kindred list. Eluward is on the yellow Viego.
Exactly.
Right. But Aloof Travelers snipes down that Viego, and we get a Shrieking Spinner instead. This 2/5 buffs the other spiders. So maybe, we can timelines into some spiders.
Yeah, maybe. Currently not doing a whole lot of value gaining, but potentially we can play a Caitlyn here first.
I love Caitlyn in these timelines decks. When you're in the PNZ, she's just a great mid-game unit. The flash bombs may be set up for even greater trades and open attacks for you, especially against a lot of these swarmy decks. Really strong inclusion here from Kero.
Yeah, you told me that you really like Caitlyn, right? Before we started the tournament, you were really excited to see her in some lineups here, and now at the final, kind of fitting, you finally get to see her in action, currently being denied her first hit, though.
Yeah, so the Hate Spike comes through, sets up the trade onto the Shrieking Spinner, denies those flash bombs to Caitlyn. So, again, just forcing a lot of responses from the opponent can be quite good as well. This isn't a deck that's designed to level up Caitlyn or do anything fancy. She's just there as a 3/3 quick attacker that gets you some long-term value. And if your opponent's spending resources on her and maybe not your Trundle down the road or your Combat Cook, for example, she's just subtly clearing a path.
Yeah, kind of just a great value champion, right? 3 mana, free, what Draven really wishes he was. And then you have the added value of the flash bombs, and sometimes just the added threat of your opponents having to spend some cards to kind of deal with her. So yeah, definitely I can understand why you love her so much. And now the combat cook. Will he be turning into a Crocolife yet again, or will something else be summoned here?
So Pot of Pain, I believe, was a selection. Vaughn Yip, really hilarious. Ranger Knight Defector, very cute, tough. Scout,
Yeah, I
but
like.
actually just transforms into the
Okay.
Lecturing Yordle, having the biggest HP pool out of all the selections, further boosted by the Pot of Pain. And with Impact and the ability to generate those poison darts, we're going to be able to start chipping away at this board. Eluwardhayk does have one more Waking Sands in the hand to go all in on this swing if they choose.
Yeah, we can go for the Waking Sands if we want to. We do have one Mystic Shot on KeroTempest side, which can take care of one of those Sandstone Chargers here. But we are just gonna swing right now. And now the question is, do we play? Do we freeze something? Do we play a Mystic Shot? We do play a Mystic Shot on the Merciless Hunter here, trading away to Caitlyn.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Because the vulnerable on the Caitlyn is permanent from the Merciless Hunter, you're going to spend the rest of the game trying to keep her alive. Better just let her go down. You still get the flash bombs. Lecturing Yordle has still gigantic HP, can swing through here. Second combat cook, though, finds the upcycled Rake.
Ooh, and now we are gonna be Petricide stack. I mean, that's not great with Scout, but I think yeah,
Alice Bone Crusher, an 8-5 with Scout. You love to see it. Waking Sands number 2 being rewarded here, right? Eluwardhayk didn't go all in on that last attack. Having this 2-mana 5/2 is a fantastic defensive option in return.
yeah, and now KeroTempest is attacking proactively with both units, not taking care of the Scout attack. Actually is taking care, and now maybe trying to spend a freeze here, or maybe, wow, just trading down.
Interesting
Okay.
to offer up the Bone Crusher into the 5/2 like that. We have the option of maybe parts made whole, to discard the Rake and draw some cards. So Tempest is looking for something here.
We also do get an Acafian Mirage in play, which is going to just add a little bit of more damage, right? 3 attack, nothing to scoff at. Also the stats and the value that cards can sometimes generate, kind of nice. And now with a Pharaohs, we can even get some more stuff. But there's the Hydrovine, kind of starting a bit of a timer for KeroTempest, because yeah, the mists are just going to get bigger and bigger until we deal with them.
And funny enough, all the way up the curve, the Hydrovine is the first encroaching mist that's been summoned. It's starting out as a 1/1 here. Kero opting to put that Poison Dart on the Nexus rather than discard it with Zonite Urchin to draw a card means that both players are looking to be incredibly aggressive from this point. Now Viego comes through, boosted to a 7/6. Caitlyn number 2 here, but Buried in Ice is the response. The bane of the Shurima Shadow Isles decks. There is an Hourglass to sidestep this, so Viego can rehatch if he wants.
But it looks like we're just trying to go for the Hydrovine here to present more blockers next turn.
I do like that instead, yeah. Then
yeah,
it'll
it
be
feels very nice.
resummoned.
Also, what's funny is when the Viego comes back, another Mist also joins his side, which means we can get like maybe actually a kind of head or as a faster progress on the Viego level up with that extra Mist being summoned.
Okay, so Zonite Urchin gives us one more draw to find it that stairs to clear out the Viego from these entombs.
Yeah, but we just have the
I was gonna say, yeah, Kero's just gonna go for the Trundle here.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, if that stairs would have come down, we could have just right have negated that, which would have felt pretty big for Eluwardhayk. We do just go for the second Hydrovine, and now we have a full board of Hydrovine, Mist, and then next turn a Viego, and then yet another Mist joining their side. Although, we find another Buried in Ice, but yeah, the Rite of Negation is still in hand for Eluwardhayk, which means this Buried in Ice currently doesn't pose any threat.
Yeah, you have this big slow speed to answer. There's the Rite of Negation to punish. Everything hatching out of the Buried in Ice. Unfortunate here.
Man,
And
look how big that
Viego is
mist is.
absolutely monstrous.
Oh yeah, the Viego's big. The mists are also big. That little 2-2. You know, 2 turns ago, that mist was a 2-2, I believe. Now turned into a 7-7. Kind of had a insane, kind of like a hyperbolic time chamber arc in that Entomb. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what it was drinking, but it is furious right now. And it's forcing everything that isn't Trundle to block here for KeroTempest. And yeah, I mean, the Viego and his like Hydrovines are just sitting on the back of the board, chilling, and the Viego is gonna be leveled after this last. Oh no, actually, yeah, after
Yep.
this mist dies already.
So now Viego levels up at the start of the round. He's going to eat this Trundle. And then this is going to be a beautiful open attack. All Kero can do is summon an 8/8, refill the mana, maybe try to go for something else once again. Eluwardhayk doesn't need to do anything from this position. Just has to keep mana open for Rite of Negation versus the Buried in Ice, and then immediately open attack.
Yeah, we don't have many choices here. We do find Tiana, but since she is a transformed unit and not summoned, she doesn't get us the rally that she normally would if you summon or play her. Caitlyn also just kind of, you know, being there, holding on. We do have another, yeah, we have to go for the Buried here, but we still know that there is a Rite of Negation ready to be played. We're just gonna go for the mana crystal because why not? We're on 10 mana. It doesn't really matter. Could have also honestly killed one of the mists since, you know, we just get one. We get like 2, 3 mists. Wait, what happens here? I think we steal something, but Tiana just perishes.
The board is
Yeah.
full, so she gets obliterated. The board's not, there's no room for her. And so now Kero can go for another Buried in Ice, but you aren't presenting lethal with that Buried in Ice.
Yeah, that is going to be a bit unfortunate to... Yeah, I don't know what we do at this point. Look at it. Look at this board. 16, 15, 10 missed. We're just going to get another Viego because why not? I feel like this game... Well, actually, we have another Buried in Ice, huh? Don't we?
Yeah, so we can Buried in Ice here. The board gets entombed, and then we're threatening 11 damage. It's actually getting pretty close here. Eluwardhayk misses his attack token, and maybe Kero can maybe set up another attack. There's a Ferris Financier in hand that could pull another Buried in Ice. Is it possible?
Yeah, but we can just redevelop Viego here since we just drew him, right? Which means we are still gonna make the Trundle disappear into the void at the start of next turn. Oh, yeah, we can also just block him here. But then...
Yeah, just a block, and then Viego eats the Caitlyn.
Yeah, or just a Trundle, honestly, at this point, because... Yeah, I mean, just take 2 less damage. The Viego is not gonna be threatened by anything here, still on 11 HP.
Wow.
Only a full power Thermal Beam would threaten him here. And thanks to no mist being generated right now, he actually doesn't grow, which means... Oh, but we don't have any spell mana banked. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, no, we can't block anyways because...
Goes for the open attack, so we have to Entomb, or maybe even Flash Freeze this Viego.
Looks like Entomb is the choice.
Yeah, we just got tons of Viegos going, like, in and out of rotation. Yeah. This deck, ironically, the triple Caitlyn draw ended up not being that great, right? There was a lot of ways to just prevent her from striking. These were just several cards that you drew that you didn't get a chance to transform with timelines.
Yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate right now. A game where we did try our best, right? We held on up until the last point. KeroTempest did not stop fighting, getting timelines. You're trying to find the best timeline to find the win here, but against this just kind of perfect Viego situation for Eluwardhayk.
Pick Glorious Evolution. I thought that Shaman's Call would be the idea there. That way, if you did get an elusive unit off of your transform, you'd be able to like put a couple bear stance on it and
Yeah,
maybe try to make something happen.
I mean, now we can... Oh, wait a minute, we get a portal. Maybe we play Get Excited. But we can't really push too much. Yeah, I feel like the bear stances could have actually threatened Eluward here. Do we have anything in hand? Actually, not really. I mean, yeah, we had one Rite of Negation, which means we could have protected... We could have denied 2 damage coming through. No, I don't think we would have found lethal off it, unfortunately.
I think it would have been slightly one off. We can go for Aloof Traveler here. It does discard Rite of Negation, maybe lets you scout a little bit. It doesn't transform, but it does draw you a card. Is there any specific card that you want from this point? Something that can help you?
I'm gonna have to check the list, but I mean, maybe another Free Sister. Oh, no, we don't have more Free Sisters, I believe.
Yeah, it doesn't even attack.
And I just struck in fear with all of those Viegos and those mists staring at you. Wait, we're not even... Okay, now we just had to get the order perfect. And now I believe, yes, negative, or, well, actually, 89 damage here coming through on Eluward's final attack.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, but that was only game 1, right? Which means KeroTempest still has all the chances here. Just has to win 2 games against Eluward's second deck, which we will find out soon what it is going to be. Is it going to be the Red Gwen, or is it going to be Time? Oh, wait, never mind. Is it going to be Field of Rush, or is it going to be Darkness that we're facing off against here?
Ah, so Darkness is now the second deck for Eluward. This list has been really overcoming the odds in a lot of situations, running that triple stress defense technology, stopping a lot of these big stats and overwhelm units. And KeroTempest once again heading back into the fray with concurrent timelines on 1.
Yeah, and this is the matchup that we've seen, I mean, with this game included 3 times already tonight. One time we got really comfortable on the Veigar side. The second game actually got quite close with the clutch Ishtali Sentinel double Nexus combo finishing off the game. Let's see how this one turns out.
When we look at Eluward's hand, out of all the Darkness games we've seen Eluward play today, they've all been won without Stilted Ropemaker. So now we have this card as part of the equation, right? Having your Darknesses be a little bit cheaper means that if you can boost them up with Catalyzer and Veigar, it becomes a lot easier to sprinkle them throughout your curve and answer the board that way, rather than just scrambling to just barely defend yourself. Minion is cute, right? You transform into Minion, it'll come back to your hand. You have another unit that you can play as a 2-drop.
Yes, absolutely. The Minion kind of being an unending value, kind of the OG unending value. I did just choke a bit on my water, which is why
No
I may
worries.
sound... Yeah. I'm coming back into it, though. But yeah, the Minion, kind of one of those OG unending value cards, kind of like similar to the Undying, or, you know, nowadays like Jolani and the other Darken weapons that just come back into your hand. Can definitely try to like block a couple of units from Eluward's side, right? Because sometimes you have the meme that Darkness all of a sudden turns into an aggro deck if you really just draw your low curve with these Dark Pulp Acolytes, with these Catalyzers, and maybe some maybe some Concologists as well. Maybe the Minion could just try to fend off against those in the early game and let the timelines just really try to pull through to the late game. Once we get that Trundle set up, once we get that Pillar, and once we get that Very Nice, maybe we can finish off the game then.
So now Aloof Travelers hits the board. This is going to discard either that Vengeance or Ishtali Sentinel, and Vengeance is gone. I don't know. Out of both of those cards, I think I'd want to keep the Vengeance in this matchup.
Yeah, this time it was the Vengeance. I remember last time it was the Ishtali Sentinel that was leaving. You know, the second one that lost the game we just drew later. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Vengeance is great against things like Trundle. It can help us against the 8-drop that is going to come down on turn 8. Yeah, it feels like a high impact card where the Ishtali Sentinel in this matchup feels a bit more situationally powerful.
So Zonite Urchin just discarding the second timelines, transforming into Stinky Wump. I wonder if shuffling this card into Eluward's deck is going to be the answer here towards the late game. These darkness lists, especially after the nerf to hidden pathways, do not really run a lot of card draw, you know, outside of Pokey's stick. So if you are able to run them out of cards, it's difficult for them to keep up with the value. So here we go. Bear stance on the Caitlyn, turning her into a 5/5 with quick attack here. Especially after seeing that Vengeance get discarded, you're confident in going in on a singular unit like this. And now with the flash bombs, again, the passive ability of Caitlyn to semi-control the board with those is going to really pay dividends.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And there we see the Stinky Wump falling. And yeah, you were saying that, yeah, Stinky Wump kind of is a dead draw. At first, I thought you were going to make a prediction that the 2 puff cap damage from Stinky Wump may decide the game when it comes to that. Not sure if that's going to be the case. You know, we made a couple of predictions tonight, and most of them have come true. We'll see if this Stinky Wump diff will matter. But yeah, I like the argument of it being also a dead draw in the opposing player's hand as well.
So we have Catalyzer and Senna working in tandem. 2-mana Darkness is where things get really scary. So it means that we can put a Darkness on the stack and then swing and have a second fast speed Darkness to back us up. This is very risky, however, because if you Frostbite the Senna, then it forces a very specific line where Caitlyn blocks, right? And then has to tank both Darknesses.
Yes, and it seems that may be the case. Yeah, we are forcing Senna, forcing the... Well, actually, yeah, I mean, we're not even forcing second Darkness because Darkness only does 2 damage right now, I believe. Which
That
means...
is correct.
Yeah, Caitlyn doesn't even die.
Yeah, so you see the second Darkness isn't going to cover this. Attacking with Senna here against 3 Sisters is very, very risky there. But Kero has the perfect combination. The 3 Sisters and the Mystic Shot. And now we've got second Darkness to put Caitlyn down to 1 HP. Does Eluward, looking at the hand, does have a Vile Feast, so can finish this off. But Caitlyn has gotten massive value up to this point. Took down Senna, one of the powerful continuous value engines of this list. Now Trundle's just going to hit the board, and with Vile Feast taking Caitlyn down, we have a chump blocker for him.
Yeah, also that Mystic Shot going on the Catalyzer, denying the Darkness to grow. Very impactful happening there. Now, without any Vagars to be seen on Eluward's side, he is just going to be stuck with a 2-mana on Darkness for the time being. So that is gonna feel quite awkward for him.
Yeah, just some slow Mystic Shots coming out of the deck, you know, against coming out of Darkness versus a deck like this isn't what you want to see. This is a matchup that is completely inverse to how we've experienced it before in the tournament. There's no Vagar, the Catalyzer's getting scooped up by Mystic Shot, so you just don't have the threat potential. And the longer you wait to, okay, can I block, can I chump, can I defend, the stats are just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. It is kind of like the counter what we've seen to our first Darkness game, where the opposing player just had no answer to the Vagar, and now Eluward just has no Vagar, right? Mm-hmm. And it felt like KeroTempest so far had most answers to like the other threats, like Senna. We are gonna see a Rekindler come down soon, I believe, to give us another Senna to maybe have some impact. But for the time being, Darkness still at 2. Being at 2 cost is nice. But a 2-mana deal 2 seems like a very fair spell to me so far.
I guess the line has to be for Eluward is play this Rekindler, get Senna back, trade the Rekindler away and miscall it to get another Senna, and then just have a Darkness machine gun come through. You make up for the lack of Darkness's power by just pure amounts. And slowly but surely, maybe by the time Vagar comes down, he'll be leveled, and then you get even more Darkness to keep the board under control. This list does not run like She Who Wanders, so you don't have to worry about those champions being discarded per se, but Buried in Ice is an omnipresent threat. And that's
Yeah,
exactly what Kero's setting up right here with that ice pillar.
and we even get that free 8-drop. We get Erica. No detain because it is transform, right? Not summon, not play, but still a 6/6 spell shield, which definitely doesn't feel bad for us.
Yeah, we get the spell shield unit. We've got Trundle now. Just going to pass, and here comes Buried in Ice. And because this is Obliterate, of course, when they go inside the landmarks, you can't just miscall and hope for the 1 in 3.
Yeah, also holding back for it for now. Also the give it all from like Seraphine, like the Seraphine spell, give it all from the Pharaoh's Financier could potentially give our whole board right now Overwhelm and Spell Shield on the Trundle as well. So maybe KeroTempest is considering to go for that line where we currently have an opening to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the attack token this turn, so it's not the end of the world if you don't go for Buried in Ice. And yeah, gonna put one more 1-drop in the equation for the Give It All. The entire board will become 6/7 Overwhelm Regeneration Spell Shield units. Eluward is hoping to respond to this with maybe the box or a darkness to maybe clear one of these units before it becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, we can do the darkness here to pop the spell. Wait, no. Oh, right, because we have double spell shield. We couldn't even target like Erica or the Belvethi Elder because the other unit would have just given the whole team spell shield yet again.
So I guess the idea here is pass, keep everything alive, hope for like maybe stress defense or
Oh,
something.
and we lose another blocker as well.
The
I mean,
Flash Bomb! The Caitlyn actually doing what she's meant to do in this Timelines deck, offering up this fantastic open swing. There's 2 blockers now, 12 unblocked damage, plus a little bit more in terms of just Overwhelm. Trundle going to get boosted just a bit, and I love the open attack here.
yeah, that's game. That is gonna be game 3 yet again. KeroTempest trying to run this back here, putting us into game 3, which is gonna be Darkness versus either Kindred Nasus or the Red Gwen deck.
If I was playing versus that, it's really hard to say, right? Because when you're playing against Undying as Darkness, you know, it's just you have this big threat that's just eating up all of your removal if you don't keep up with them. And then you're in a similar position, right, versus Red Gwen, because the rallying can be really it's way too much pressure in the mid game. And then once like the Reckoners come down and your stuff can't even block or chump for you, it becomes very dastardly. Kero considering keeping the Unspeakable Horrors, trying to have pings maybe for the Catalyzer. I think in a deck like this, especially, you don't even care about the darkness. You're just going to continuously rally, fill up your board with the Harrowing, and you're going to go from there. The only line of play I've ever seen in this matchup where you're able to take the win is Conchologist into Passage Unearned and then punish the Harrowing. And that's literally it. Already KeroTempest starting off with the Blade Squire into a House Spider.
Yeah, the Blade Squire also an interesting tech here in this deck. I mean, it can give us access to Quick Attack, Overwhelm, or just 2 attack on any unit of our choosing for only 1 mana at focus speed. So I can definitely see the potential of the Blade Fragment that we can get being useful. Like imagine all of a sudden you have an Overwhelm Gwen staring you down, or even a extra 2 attack on your Reckoners or something like that. Could be very effective.
Yeah, I like the Catalyzer, just trading it there, not trying to get fancy with, okay, can I maybe make something happen? There's a line of Stress Defense into Quietus to clear the Katarina, but no, just goes for the Pokey Stick instead.
And I wonder do you know what Blade fragment we got? I know you can decipher it by the thing,
yeah,
but...
that's the Quick Attack fragment.
Okay. So actually, we can give Quick Attack to the Dancers. Maybe that's still a good value. But for the early game or earliest game here, not quite what we wanted maybe, but still our board looking quite impressive. Gwen is ready, Katarina is ready to level, and the Spiderling is just there for the ride, I suppose.
Yep, Katarina just gets to attack here. Even if you have a blocker with enough HP, she just bounces right back before the blocker can strike back. So now we do have the Katarina leveled up. Gwen dealing her damage, punching through against the Tilted Roadmaker, and taking a little bit in response. Eluward does have Quietus still, but just not the right targets in play for it.
No, definitely quite as a card that against this deck feels almost useless. I mean, yeah, we have the combo that you earlier mentioned with the stress defense. I could maybe take care of a Eternal Dances once it comes out. Maybe a Katarina in the future if we have like a line that can get us there. But for now, most of these units that are going to be coming out on the board, like these the 2-drop, that is the Ghastly.
Oh, the Phantom Butler.
That is the Phantom Butler.
I mean, a 3/1.
Oh yeah, no, the free one is the Ghostly Paramour. That's who I was mixing it up with.
That used to be in these red Gwen decks as well, where you just have a little bit of a mid game like life stealer to beat other mid range lists. But especially with pirates around, they don't really care. So better to just run something a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, with the Reckoners, players have really kind of gravitated towards that. So in the meantime, here comes Tilted Roadmaker, Blade's Edge, also just going to clear the 2/1. KeroTempest is going to gladly trade away this Katarina because you've already gotten the rally, and now Eternal Dancers is looking to revive her.
Exactly. The one thing that is still in need of happening is we need a hollow proc, so we can get the Eternal Dancers to 4 attack, which makes it eligible to summon Katarina. Gwen, they're almost there with only 1 HP left. Or also these Phantom Butlers, looking kind of squishy with only 1 HP. But for now, we still don't have 1 hollowed proc, which is a bit of a nuisance right now for KeroTempest, but I'm sure it will be resolved soon.
Okay, so now because that was a block that cleared the board, the rally plus the open attack lines up, and so this forces Eluward to then do Quietus. This puts a hallowed stack down, as you said, Rack. So now the Eternal Dancers can come through 6 mana with the attack token and attempt to revive Katarina and rally again and get the combo down. Eluward has to respond to this with vengeance.
Oh, is hesitant for now. Goes for a quiet... Oh, just goes for the double. Okay. Tries to take out the spider with that. I think that is nice because, yeah, I think Eluward recognizes here, hey, I don't have stress defense right now. I don't think I'm getting any extra value of this Quietus anytime soon. I'm just going to spend it here, take care of the spider. Yeah, I feel like it was a good angle or a good, a good niche way to find a room for the Quietus where it didn't feel like it bricked you up too much. It didn't feel like it hurt your tempo that you wanted to go for. It just fit right into that play. So I definitely could see why we just played that right there.
Oh my god, this is so tragic. Going for the Ishtali Sentinel attack. Going for a Ravenous Flock. Are you going to safety block, Kero? I was wondering if it was just going to be summoning a Phantom Butler and then Vile Feasting your own Butler to just sidestep the lifesteal altogether. But instead goes for the Ravenous Flock. But Eluward picked up Mark of the Isles from the Conchologist earlier, can survive the Ravenous Flock and still get a little bit of lifesteal here if they so choose.
Yeah, I wonder if Eluward wants to go for that. I mean, the line right now seems clear. However, nope, that's just a line. Yep. I was thinking about what could we use it for in the future. Not really sure. So yeah, I like this once again. Playing very resourceful here, making use of those, 1 mana cheap niche cards and getting maximum value. Now KeroTempest can develop some Phantom Butlers, however, and has a still pretty threatening open attack.
Oh, that was the Overwhelm Fragment. My mistake. So this is still a fantastic card to have down the road. But the top deck is not a ping spell, so that hard 1 lifesteal is already offset by the Butlers.
Oh, and we are just going to go for the Herring, which is going to give us back a Katarina, which means we rally, which means I think we win the game, no?
Because Eluward played the Catalyzer, there was no Ruination to counter the Harrowing. 4 slots
yes.
on the board. Does Katarina come back in this mixture?
Yeah, she definitely does. She is the strongest unit that has died so far, and it goes from strongest to weakest, I believe, base stats, which means, yeah, we are going to be winning the game. I think there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, this deck, as I said, when you're
Wait,
playing
we have the
deck,
box. Does the box do
box?
anything?
No, the rally with the fearsomes. No, they were summoned last round. Then you rally again with the Eternal Dancers reviving Katarina.
Yeah.
So this deck just has so much rally and reviving units. It's the ultimate mixture of mechanics that prey on these removal control decks.
And ABG KeroTempest taking home Mystic Shot Podcast Tournament number 40. Congratulations to you, Kero. Congratulations to ABG.